This performance is going to be a promenade performance, which means that we shall be having a little bit of you guys moving along the way for us. Just to let you know, to start with, we'll start moving through the rowan copse until we come to an opening. You will be led by our musicians. When we come to the opening, please feel free to fan out, into a higgledy-piggledy semicircle, just so that you can make sure that you see what's going on. So please feel free to move around so that you can see what's going on. When that short section comes to an end, you will then be led by our musicians again up to our main performance space, which is where you can place your chairs or rugs or anything else. We have got some other chairs and tarpaulin for people to perch on as well if you didn't bring anything. That is going to be in the round, so please form a circle on your chairs around the edge of the performance space.
Brown hair, you form your lair from the winning grasses. As the wind passes, lay your ears back like the years, like the light and all the universe is smothering on the flaming fire.
Like the years, like the light from the universe's smoldering embers of a swailing fire at night. Brown hair, you form your lair from the whinnying grasses. As the wind passes and lay your ears back like the years, fly back from lies along the universe's smoldering embers of a swailing fire at night.
Brown hare, called lepus by the Romans, who may have introduced the species, and Euryphaeus by Linnaeus, who labelled it. Coprophagic hare, who re-ingests her own dung in a gesture of efficiency, so as not to waste the carbohydrate hidden in obturate cellulose. Hare, whose leverets are born with eyes open, all clad in fur, ready to escape. Hare, who is so sensitive that she will die after being handled, like a robin found indoors, or live trapped by a cat. Alien hare, who in Britain never completely belongs in a wilderness, but requires mixed farming, not only grass, the wide expanses, but roots and wheat, barley and kale, and trees for bark in the dead of winter. The enemy of trees, who loves them.
Brown hair, you form your lair from the whinnying grasses. As the wind passes and lay your ears back like the years,
Light up from light along the universe's smoldering embers, a swailing fire at night.
Hare came from the steppes of Central Asia, in the shadow of the Altai Mountains. His custom was to feed at night in the light of the moon. Sometimes when he capered for joy in her sleek shine, he wished he could leap onto the moon because he loved her smile. But as is the way with dreams, he thought it was impossible. One night, he was loping through a thicket, browsing on the bark and twigs of young trees, since it was autumn, and there was no goodness in the grass. Just then, he saw a figure coming towards him, zigzagging this way and that, meandering here and there. For the truth was that the figure was hopelessly lost.
"Can I be of any help to you?" said the hare, who was a sensitive being and had divined the stranger's problem.
"I am lost,"
said the stranger. "Then I will guide you out of the wood," said the hare. "We will take this path to the right."
"But I am hungry and poor and have nothing with which to repay your kindness,"
answered the stranger. "Oh," said the hare, "then if you are hungry, light a fire, and you can cook me and roast me. Then you can eat my flesh."
The stranger thereupon made a fire. And as soon as the flames began to lick at the larger twigs, Hare jumped in.
Then Buddha, for the stranger was none other than he, revealed his divine power. He grabbed the animal out of the fire and placed him in the moon. When I sing to you, why do you weep? When the wind blows through me, why do you cry? Hare who forms me, why do you leave?
You remind me, grass. You remind me when you bend.
Of what, Hare?
Of the wrong I have done.
What wrong?
I cannot say.
Why not?
If I were to tell you, the wrong I have done would whisper across the world. See, there, I told you.
Can a hare really do wrong?
I have not always been a hare. Sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes neither. I have been a fish and a bird. I have been a bush and a boy. I have been a meteor running across the sky. Once, I was a girl.
And you did wrong,
A great wrong.
but one that can never be said.
Not in this world.
Perhaps in another.
In the black night. Beyond the burning forest of the universe, perhaps.
Black cicada. In the fiery night. Singes a seed from the branches of the heart. Splits the husk of the trickling forest. Mother of voices, you speak of the darkest heart, of the darkest path, the impenetrable glade. And the velvet crystal of a pulsing star.
What was that?
The wind, perhaps?
Tell me your story, Hare.
I cannot say.
Not your secret, only your story.
I cannot say.
Please, Hare. I want to be entertained before you leave me.
I cannot say. Grass, ask the wind that grieves within you. I cannot say.
Loved the moon. He loved how she allowed him to leap higher than a cougar. More flowingly than a salmon. beechwood in spring, responding to the sunlight. The moon loved the hare and held him to her with a gentle pull. All over the moon's surface lapping, and raised dust like a dust devil on the barcans of the Sahara Desert. Slow motion dust that floated for longer than the writing of sparklers in the black air of Guy Fawkes night floats on the eye. From the distance of the stars, the hunter read its meaning and set out with his dogs.
Hare, I have seen that death is coming to the earth. Go and tell the men and women that as I die away and rise again, so they will die and rise again.
Hare climbed down the staircase of the moon's beams and danced about in the grasses of the moor that were in their summer luxuriance, shining like coats of well-fed cattle. He danced a jig of summer. So excited was he by the feel of the grasses against his sleek side like hair brushing his shoulder. Grass that had come with him as an alien, reminding him of his origins in the steppes of Central Asia. Not far away, however, hedges and copses loomed with their scent of honeysuckle and elderflower, and wild roses, as dewy and intoxicating as perfume on the skin. Dangerous for their warm lengths. And as he danced, and then fell asleep exhausted, runned up in the form he had bent around him, he forgot the second part of the moon's message. He had a dream.
Hare was fleeing from the shadows. The moonlight threw from the chasing cloud pack. In delighted play, he kicked his legs. With long legs, he hunted the moon's ice sleek and the fair grey shoots of barley. A fox filled the dangerous darkness of closed spaces with its length of warmth. Hare gazed at the full moon with longing. In the spirit light of her orb, Hare dreamed he had climbed the stairs of moon's beams and wandered through her plains and mountains, as if they were prairies of barley. Sea washed gold from a distance, but close, iced with sleekness on the fir grey stems.
The next day, he raced around telling men and women that they were going to die, just as the moon died away. But he forgot to tell them that they would rise again. Finally, full of longing for the moon that he had left, and the sea-washed gold of her dreamland prairies, where no fox has ever found cover to surprise him, he climbed the staircase of her beams once more. At the top of the staircase, he met the silver face of the moon, beaming with the sun's light.
Moon, I have missed you.
And I you. Did you give my message to the people on Earth?
I did.
And were they grateful?
They did not appear to like it.
What did you tell them?
I told them that just as the moon dies away, they shall die away themselves.
And?
And nothing. I can't remember anything else.
What?
It made sense when I told them.
Foolish Hare! You have ruined everything!
And with that, the moon in her rage took a hatchet which lay in the shadow across
across the gunpowdered scented regolith, and, like a man wielding an axe against a log of wide-eyed wood, struck the hare, meaning to split his head open, but he leaped out of the way, and the hatchet missed its mark, cutting his lip in two.
The sun bounced over the horizon, east of Chagwa, as a vermilion ball, its outline delineated clearly against the white sky round it. Within minutes, though, star as it is, it had started to flame and spangle, clothing with scarves of light its body like an enormous faceted gem, changing from red to pink, then yellow, before the final brilliancy of uncontemplatable whiteness. The deep green forest glowed beneath, like the shadows from red and orange sunset over Hameldown, which clothe the flanks and hollows in evergreen for an evening, a month before the bracken is up. That evening, its eastern slopes are montane jungle. Engulfing the softwood prongs of spruce and larch plantations. Then, next morning, last year's bracken and the burnt heather have resumed their habitual shades.
Once on the heath, a woman walking to market with eggs, met her hare talking. Please, missus, hide me under your skirts. The huntsman's coming, the hound's mouth hurts. The huntsman slows and asks if she's seen a hare on the heath. Yes, no, I mean. The huntsman leaves with quarrelling hounds. Out of her skirts, no long ear bounds. Beside her stands a full-sized girl, hair of saffron, teeth of pearl. She thanks the woman, free at last. The curse is gone. Across the years, day and night, like a meteor streaming across a headlong flight.
The girl rewarded the old woman by telling her that her hens would henceforth lay twice as many eggs and her cow produce twice as much milk, and that she would always get the better of her husband in any argument. And then she left, brushing through soft grasses in a whisper that told of an unsayable wrong, until she was out of sight.
At every step of the sweet grass path, my heart gains a wider horizon. With every inhalation of breath and shaking of legs and ears, my eyes that touch the wind ponder.